So I'm going to start off by downloading Anaconda, which at a minimum should give me a Python environment and hopefully an R environment as well. Now I'm not just going to click this download button here because I'm wary of the fact that this might not be for M1 Macs, so I'm going to go and check the additional installers instead. And there you can see that previous download was 591 megabytes, but I've got one here for an M1 which is 316 megabytes, so I'm going to click and download that one instead. Okay, so let's open that up to install it. And then move the installer to the bin because I'm done with that. That will then enable me to open Anaconda Navigator from my launchpad for my applications, and you'll see that in that I've got a link to be able to launch my Jupyter Notebook IDE. That's where I can go and manage my code. What you'll also notice is that I thought I might potentially get an R environment out of this as well. It doesn't look like there are any Anaconda distributions or packages rather for the for RStudio. There are packages available for Anaconda Navigator if you install it on an Intel Mac, but I'm not getting any options to be able to do that from here, which means I'll need to install R separately, which we'll look at in a little bit. But for the moment, what I want to show you is that I can launch Notebook, so that then opens up under a local host address in my browser, and from there I can go to my Python files and then open those up in an editor where I can go and edit that code. So the next thing I want to do is install R. So let's go here, and then I'm just going to go to this mirror here, download R for Mac OS, and then just have a look to see if there is a M1 Mac only, which there is. So download that and install it. Okay, so that's now installed. So the next thing I want to do is install RStudio. So it's RStudio Desktop we want. And we are downloading this one here. So you'll see that there's a SHA-256 signature. Always a good idea when you download something that there is a SHA-256 signature, just to make sure that you have actually got the proper download and that you haven't inadvertently ended up downloading something that could do damage to your system because of a man-in-the-middle attack or something like that. And here you can see that the signatures match. So that's good. Comparing this with this. So now we can go ahead and install R. Which I'll just do by dragging that over to the applications. We are good to go with R and RStudio. So here's the R console, which we don't really need to use or have running at any point. So now I've got our studio open. So let's take a look at the couple of examples that I've written about in the article. So the first one is the regular StatsBomb data, for which my example is from this Arsenal West Ham game. So I've opened up the file here, select all of this code and run it. You'll see that in the bottom the console updates. And then you'll see that after a while we get our tables appearing at the top. So here you can see those in the left hand window as I click on them, and down here we've got our pass map, which we can export as a PDF or as an image or copy it to the clipboard. And you'll notice that as I clicked on each of these it just opened up a tab here. So let's close those ones down, and let's close that and open the next file, which is the StatsBomb 360 data example, which is where I aggregated all of the code from the press release that talks about the release of the StatsBomb 360 data. Let's select all of that, run that code. So here's my Leroy Sané map, and here is my crosses table. So let's go and have a look at the Python example. So I open up a terminal, I default into my home directory, so change directory to Documents, GitHub, Pass Maps. There's all of my files, which I can get when I press ls and hit enter, and I want to run this main copy1.py. So let's type in the Python command and my file name, hit return, and that has generated this pass map on my other screen.